Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's so blessed, and today we are going to do another garden symbolism video. We're talking about balancing life's garden. So if that's something that you can relate to, or if that's something that you're interested in, stick around for the video. And guys, you ever notice that tending to a garden is a lot like trying to balance your life? Every plant needs just the right amount of sunlight, just the right amount of water, and just the right amount of fertilizer. And so do you. But do you ever feel like if you mess up just a little bit, that the whole garden is going to be thrown off? That your whole life is going to be off balance? If you make the wrong decision, you make the wrong turn, the whole thing could possibly fall apart. Well, it's possible, but there's no reason why you can't reset it. So let's reset. So let's start with sunlight. Plants need sunlight to grow, right? But not too much sunlight, because you could possibly burn your plants if you give them or you expose them to too much sunlight. Well, let's use the symbolism for sunlight to what we need in life, which is productivity. So I try to keep life balanced with a little bit of sunlight, right? You know, that things that give you energy, those things that give you life. But some days it feels like I'm in that Sahara desert of productivity. Too much sunlight, too much productivity. You're out there doing everything. You're working, you're running errands, you're trying to exercise, you're trying to create content to post here on YouTube. And hey, let's just face it, sunlight is great, productivity is great, but you can start to feel a little crispy sometimes. You can't be out here running around trying to soak up every beam of sunlight for productivity. You know, you got that little workforce in your head telling you, do more, accomplish more, do more and more, accomplish more. And meanwhile, that little plant inside of you is screaming for some shade because you don't put too much sunlight on it. So we said there's three things we need to keep our life garden in balance, right? We need that sunlight, we need water, we need fertilizer. So we done talked about sunlight. Let's talk about water. Water. It's the rest and relaxation part of life. Water. You think that water would be that easy part of life, right? Water is where you relax and you recharge. But no. It's like trying to figure out what's that exact amount. Like, how much rest do I need? And at what point does my period of rest becomes my period of laziness? Because if I overwater, too much rest, too much relaxation, then suddenly I'm drowning in my own laziness. Do you know what I mean? Like you become that plant that's sitting over in the corner that flops over from too much water, too much relaxation, too much of your laziness. Now you're sitting over there trying to figure out how to get out of this stupor because you done overwatered yourself with relaxation and rest. But remember, if you don't get enough water, you're going to come a little crispy and cranky at times, right? So it's a delicate balance, no doubt. But you got to remember that one day of rest is recharging. A week of your rest and relaxation can throw you in that whole dimension of laziness. And I start thinking to myself, am I supposed to be growing or am I supposed to be laying here on this couch becoming a fern? Which one? It's a delicate balance. Not enough rest, too much rest. You got to find the exact amount for you to find balance in your life garden. Okay, guys, so I said I wasn't going to make this a long video, but we done talked about sunshine, which is Our productivity, we done talked about water, which is our rest and relaxation. Now we come to that third part, which is the fertilizer, right? Now everyone tells us that we need a little bit of fertilizer to grow. And we think of our fertilizer as adversity. And they say adversity builds character, but I'm going to tell you, sometimes in life you want a little less of that fertilizer that's being thrown at you. It's like the universe just dumps fertilizer on us sometimes. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I don't want to be building my character that much. So I'll just keep it real with you. You know, sometimes you want just a little less fertilizer or adversity in your life. I know it's supposed to make you strong, right, with them struggles. And them struggles are supposed to help us to grow. But I can sometimes use just a little less of it, because life likes to dump that fertilizer on us in the forms of character and building our experience. And it's like, oh, okay, great, more fertilizer for me, really? The universe is over here like a gardener who doesn't read labels. You know how sometimes you over fertilize your plants, and you know what happens when you over fertilize your plants. Just shoveling on the character building left and right. And we're just trying to survive and thrive. Listen, universe, I'm fertilized enough. Okay, thank you very much. Any more character, and I'm going to need some kind of therapy. So hold off on the fertilizer, universe. I had enough. So there's you could be standing in your life's garden, right? Juggling the sunlight of productivity, the water of relaxation, and dodging those heaping dumps of fertilizer that just keep coming, trying to keep it all in balance, because if you get it right, your life can blossom, right? Everything's in harmony, and you're out there like thriving like a plant, just living your best life with just the right amount of sunlight, just the right amount of water, and just the right amount of fertilizer. Well, of course, most of the time we don't get it quite right. Okay, let's just be honest. Most of the time we don't get it quite right. We're either overwatered, we're undersunned, a little too much fertilizer, and then our lives look more like that plant that's in that corner. And you hoping for a comeback, right? And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Even if our life garden don't always look like a botanical dream, it's our life. We might have a few crispy leaves, a little too much fertilizer in the soil, but we're still growing. We're still experiencing, and we're still growing. And that's what gardeners do. They don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. They just have to keep going. Have to reset sometime, and that's okay to reset sometime. Just step back and figure out what are the exact amounts that I need. But it don't have to be perfect, and it sometimes is a little bit trial and error, just like life. May our sunlight be just enough to keep us energized, our water keep us rested, and the fertilizer, well, let's just say maybe it be character building in very, very small doses from here on out. Cheers to all of you well-balanced gardeners, and maybe we can keep growing crispy leaves and all.